Prince George, Peace River with Northern Rockies.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I'm going to split my time with the member from Calgary Nose Hill tonight. It's about priorities, and Arctic sovereignty is a priority for our party. And we talked about a recent presence, a buildup of a Russian presence in Eastern Europe tonight, as mentioned by colleagues from Wellington Halton Hills and Selkirk Interlake Eastman. But we've also seen a rise in Russian ambitions in the Arctic. As Marcus Kolga mentions in this recent article, over the past few weeks, the Russian president's ambitions have converged in the Arctic, challenging Canadian and allied interests and dropping the threat of conflict with the Kremlin directly on our northern shores. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov recently warned Canada and other Western allies that all the resources beneath the melting ice in the Arctic Sea belong to the Russian government. Does this minister recognize our claims to the Arctic and the Arctic border and refute Russian claims?
Honorable Ministre des Affaires étrangères.
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Of course, Madam Speaker, I would like to thank my colleague for his question. When he looks at the throne speech, he will be able to see that there's a clear mention of the importance of the Arctic as one of the key regions we want to make sure that we invest in. For different reasons, because there is growing influence of China, but also because we know that we have to work with our Scandinavian countries and also with like-minded countries to ensure that we protect our Arctic sovereignty. That is exactly what I'll be doing.
What is the Minister for Foreign Affairs doing to assert Canadian sovereignty in the Arctic physically?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, obviously, we know that Canadian military is often in the Arctic. We know also that we have Canadians that are also living in the Arctic. And
Thank you, Madam Speaker. One thing that I will say about our previous Conservative government, we showed up. We had our previous Conservative Prime Minister go to the Arctic many times to assert physically our presence in the Arctic. What is this Minister of Foreign Affairs doing to assert Canadian sovereignty in the Arctic diplomatically?
The Honourable Minister.
as mentioned in the speech from the throne, obviously the Arctic is a priority. Obviously we will deepen our engagement. Obviously we will make sure that we have an Arctic strategy.
Member.
Which country specifically has she reached out to assert our claims?
Minister, quick answer.
Well, I've reached out to Norway, to Denmark, to Sweden, and also to Russia directly. And obviously I had conversations with the US on this issue.
Member?
Talk is cheap, frankly, Madam Speaker. And I'll quote my colleague for Selkirk Interlake Eastman in a recent article. The Russian government is opening military bases in the Arctic, and the Chinese Communist regime is expanding its Arctic naval fleet beyond the capabilities of Canada and the United States combined. This member slammed the federal government's naive and dangerous approach to Arctic sovereignty, accusing the government of mismanaging the Nunavut project, from which he says remains vital to Canada's security in the far north. Has she spoken with the Russian and Chinese foreign ministers to discuss their growing presence in the Arctic?
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Like I mentioned, I've talked to Lavrov, which is my Russian counterpart, on this very issue. And I think that my colleague should stop reading his notes, because diplomacy is about talking to people, and it's about making sure that we reach out to others to really try to assert our different interests, including Arctic sovereignty.
Honourable Member.
Madam Speaker, she just referred that she has spoken with the Russian counterpart, and I haven't heard about the Chinese counterpart. When?
Honourable Minister.
Well, my colleague raises a very important point. In my view, and in the government's view, we need to be able to talk to everybody, including Russia and including...
The Honourable Member.
Thank you to the Minister, I think. It's not only affecting our Russian colleagues and Chinese colleagues across the way, we're being affected by them, but it's also affecting our relationship with our North American colleagues, namely the US. Another article from Canadian Press, December 1st, 2021, from U.S. General Glenn Van Herk, and he made these comments. The commander of the North American Aerospace Defense Command says China and Russia are developing new ways to attack the continent as he waits for political direction to modernize NORAD's outdated early warning system. What message does the minister think it sends to our allies when they continue not to treat our Arctic border seriously?
The Honourable Minister.
It's not because my colleagues continue to read his lines that necessarily he actually is following what I'm saying. I said that we would be developing an Arctic strategy. I said that we would be asserting Arctic sovereignty. And as for NORAD, yes, we will proceed with NORAD modernization, and we've increased the budget.
The Honourable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I guess I'd ask the minister back, 6 years is a long time. If it's a priority, why haven't they got to it sooner? She's talking about getting to it. When is she going to actually do it?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, my colleague should celebrate that it's in the speech from the throne. It obviously will be part of my mandate, and we will be working to make sure that we assert our sovereignty. We also bought recently 6 icebreakers.
The Honourable Member.
From an anonymous senior official, Madam Speaker, in an interview, a senior Canadian Forces officer who asked to remain anonymous said the changes were long overdue. The significance of this announcement is just another example of Canada's irrelevance internationally. Does this minister think that we're irrelevant internationally?
The Honourable Minister.
Of course not.
The Honourable Member.
What is the minister going to do to make Canada relevant again in the Arctic?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, first and foremost, we will make sure that we assert our sovereignty in different ways, by engaging with our partners, by raising it through multilateral organization, by making sure also that we have...
Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We've heard a lot of words from this minister. We haven't heard once where she's actually shown up in the Arctic and asserted our sovereignty as a minister. I'm asking her when. I think all Canadians are expecting her to do it soon.
To answer, the Honourable Minister.
For sure, I'll be going to the Arctic. I look forward to it. And Harper did indeed go to the Arctic, but our Prime Minister also. It is a long-standing policy that we recognize Arctic sovereignty, and this is our part of the world, and we'll...